Next question number 5. For what reason will Babylon receive God's 7 last plagues?
But the reason is in verse 2, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of fornication. Now, if you go to Revelation 14, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. By the way, Revelation 14, 9 through 11, the most frightful statement in the entire Bible. Let me say it again. Not even the flood of Genesis chapter 7 and 8 and 9, or 7 and 8. It is the proclamation of Revelation 14, 9 through 11. Because God pours out his wrath without mercy. Why? If any man worship the beast and his image. We know the beast is the papal system. An image is a system set up that reflects the beast. And part of that will be apostate Protestantism. And God says, anyone who accepts that system of error, I will pour out upon you he didn't say I'll pour out my worst judgment on those who rob banks, even though that's bad, or steal cars or whatever. He's dealing with those who have made religious choices in direct opposition to thus saith the Lord. Those who have set aside God's law for a man-made law, they receive the worst of God's punishment. And so the reason that God's anger is poured out and his anger is righteous, it is because a system has replaced him. And the Bible speaks of abomination. The Bible has sins, then it has abominations. Abomination is a concentrated form of sin that makes God vomit. And the one that does that is idolatry, where you put someone else in God's place. And Babylon has done that. And the beast that people worship and the image of the beast that people will worship, these take God's place in people's lives, and God will pour out his worst and most painful punishment, but it will still be an act of righteousness. Promoting error and blinding people, deceiving people will be the reason Babylon will receive God's destructive justice.
Amen. Such a...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The truth make us free. The truth open our eyes.
Yes,
God
it does.
wants to improve our lives, but this other system is trying to put us down, to deceive us, to actually kill us. And God doesn't want that. God wants us to be happy, to be complete, to be whole.
One of the ways to deceive people is to withhold certain information from them. I mean, governments do it, corporations do it, businesses, some churches do it. Just withhold some information. But Jesus said, all things I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. God doesn't hide what we need. He doesn't do that. He said, if it were not so, I would have told you. That's the way Jesus functions. He tells you what you need to know. To keep people in error, you have to hide the truth from them. You hide the truth. You deliberately hide the truth, and the result is error, deception. And that's what Babylon has been doing and is doing, and God has to put a stop to that.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
There are preachers in Sunday churches who know, if they're listening to me now, they know the Sabbath is Saturday, sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, and they will not preach it because they don't want to lose the congregation and the offering, but they know the Sabbath is Saturday, but they will not preach it. And if they're listening to me, they ought to have the courage, with God's help, to come out and say, the seventh day is the Sabbath. Even if you lose your church, but don't lose heaven. Never contribute to someone's destruction, contribute to someone's salvation. And the promotion of error is an unforgivable contribution to someone's destruction.
Wow. That's definitely not loving your neighbor, withholding the truth from God.